most challenging part of the time because my I had my out of my 24 hours, 12 hours was going to my work as at a week before the exam. I must be sincere. But let me, in all sincerity, I think success is the thing of the mind. Even while at work, my mind keeps going to each of the questions, each of the revision questions each of the questions, the topics were taught and all that. I kept on thinking about them. If I can't remember anything, I try to go back to the video as soon as I have the opportunity.
Hello viewers, welcome to Elite Expertise. Today again we are joined with one another, our successful candidate who successfully cleared her OPRA July examination, Aderinsola. Tell our viewers about yourself, about your background and how you prepared for this examination.
Well, my name is Aderinsola. When I decided to write this exam, and I contacted the Allied group, they built in me some level of confidence. Apparently, I wasn't confident enough. Having looked through the curriculum, the syllabus I had to go through, and I've studied pharmacy quite all right. But it's been a number of years ago. It's been about 10 years, more than 10 years ago. So I wasn't sure I was going to go back to the books and then read like a proper pharmacy student. So I'm just very excited about it because they built some level of confidence in me and they told me it was achievable. They told me I was going to make it, provided I'm able to commit my time, my energy into it, and lo and behold, when the journey started, the first month I wasn't confident enough, but then I saw the passion in them. I noticed that they were so passionate about getting us to that success story. And I told myself I was going to run with the vision. Because looking at your own tutors, giving that much energy into it, why wouldn't I do my best? And by the second month, it was on another level. It was much intense in the sense that they were giving all, all their energy, all their time to our success story. And by the third month, I concluded that it was a success story because they didn't even, I'm not sure they had their own time to themselves at all. So I told myself, even though I was working at that, I was working because right now I'm actually in microphone. I have to do some other work in order to pick up my bills. So I was working, but then 3 weeks prior to that, I really shouldn't work so that I can have time to prepare. Well, I had just 1 week, and in spite of all that they were able to put together got me prepared for the exam. By the time I was going, I was telling myself, yeah, I think I have about 80% confidence. And then getting there, it wasn't strange at all. All the exam questions, all the things we were taught in class were properly taught. I would like to thank Sir Arief specially, and I would also like to thank Mom because they did their best. They put in their best. It was as if they were preparing us like their own children, like a child from their own, from them, like their own family. And I'm really, really impressed. I must say. I must say. At some point, I told myself, I wouldn't like to let those people down. They have done their very best. If I let them down, then I think I've let down, I've let down the pharmacy body because they really tried their best. And I think the accolades should go to them. So that's the journey so far.
The way you have summarized it, that you felt like a family and you do not wanted to anyone to let down. That's very great coming from your end. And we would like to know about your preparation. What went in that duration when you were preparing for your OPRA examination? What was the most challenging part and how you overcame that?
Well, for me, the most challenging part was the time because I had my out of my 24 hours, 12 hours was going to my work as at a week before the exam. I must be sincere. But let me, in all sincerity, I think success is a thing of the mind. Even while at work, my mind keeps going to each of the questions, each of the revision questions you were, each of the questions, the topics were taught and all that. I kept on thinking about them. If I can't remember anything, I try to go back to the video as soon as I have the opportunity. And I realized that success is actually not far from us. It's just a thing of the mind. And you being able to build that confidence. So one thing that I think worked for me was that I realized I didn't have enough time. But the few hours I had, I didn't take it for granted. I made sure I used every every part of it. And because success is a thing of the mind, even while at work, I kept on thinking about this question. What if it comes out this way? What if this is the way it's going to come forth or in another version? How do you intend to answer? What are you going to use to defend it? Can you go back to your books? Can you go back to the lectures? And I think that really helped me. Even to the last point, I must be sincere, to the last point of, at the venue of the exam, I had not gone through 50% of pharmaceutics. I must be sincere. But I kept on reading it. I said, well, you never can tell. It might be what you are reading that would even that might be the question. And sincerely, the last minute revision I did, I saw about 3 questions from pharmaceutics. I was surprised. So I was like, well, pharmacy has trained us to keep reading till you do the exams. The way pharmacy exam, and that really helped me. Prioritizing what to do. Even with the little time I had few hours in a day, and yet I told myself I'll put my best in it. And success was actually born from my mind. It was a thing of the mind. I already prepared in my mind that, well, I might not have the time, but because I'm already into this, I would even read and remind myself of what I've read. And another thing I told myself was that what you know, you better know very well, so that you don't get to lose it. Because sometimes information you get to mumble up things and all that. So the ones I was able to read, I told myself I was going to read them very well, so that I won't get confused and going for the exams. And that was what happened. So the ones I knew very well, I was convinced, and I held on to those ones. And when I had the opportunity to write the exam, those ones were the ones I treated first. Then I went back to the ones I wasn't sure about, to just, and then I tried to remember the lectures, how they were being explained, and thereafter I was able to answer the 120 questions. And coming out of the hall, I was 50% sure. I wasn't totally sure, but I was 50% sure.
From being 50% sure to definitely clearing your examination. And many candidates who are in their preparation stage, they hesitate to give the exam. They might want to know what was in your head when you were in the exam center, what happened when you came out, and your reaction once you found out that now you have successfully passed the examination.
Like I said, when I was going to the example, I had my confidence was about 80%. Let me be sincere, because because Arief had poured out himself. Sir Arief had poured out himself into us. Madam had poured herself out into us, and I could see them, literally pouring out knowledge into us. They were really pouring knowledge into us. They put in all their effort. They put in all their time. And so by going through the mock questions, I kept on seeing them. In each of the questions, I was seeing Sir and Ma. I was seeing Arief, and I was seeing, Mom as well. And I'm like, well, she explained it this way. Yes, he explained it this way. And that kept me going. That kept me going. The confidence they wear every time it comes to class, they make it seem like this thing is just achievable. It's just like a normal pharmacy exam. So why not just go for it once and for all? And that was what happened. As I'd even 2 weeks before going for that exam, I remember really when some of us were quite, worried, anxiety here and there, and the people said, just do what you need to do, and you see the success story knocking at your door. Just do it. And I kept on to that. Well, all I do, I have some hours in the course of the day. I have 4 hours to do it. I'm just going to do what I need to do. And so when I was going for the exam, I had 80% confidence. And I was sure of the fact that what Arief and Mom had taught, were the real things I needed. And at some point, by the time I stepped into the hall, and I had attended the first three questions. I knew two. I didn't even know the third one. I told myself I'd pass because 2 out of 3 questions was more like a success story. So I said, well, 2 out of 3, I have passed this exam, and thereafter I think I continued in that state. And by the time I was leaving the exam hall, well, I said give and take. I have a 50%. If peradventure there's going to be a new law in the course of marking, I'm sure of 50%, but I should do more. And that was just it for me. But one thing I would like to pick out to tell everyone, which I think is very important, is the fact that if you are with Allied Group, you are covered in the sense that all that is required of you is your own time to revise everything you are being taught, and you see yourself excelling. If you are with them, you are covered. I think I have 90% confidence in them. I give the 10% allowance, for differences here and there. But I have 90% confidence in them that they're able to prepare you for any exam, because they don't tell you what they cannot do. All that they said they were going to do was what they did, and I was amazed. I had fears. One of the fears I had was, well, I know that we have from different backgrounds. Looking at, okay, well, I'm from Africa, and I'm sorry from all that. So I was a bit skeptical about the language barrier. Is it going to work out? But I realized that they had even worked it out even before we started. They had done that assignment, and it was as if I was just in my own lecture hall. I could hear them very clearly, and they made it a platform for anybody from anywhere, to leverage on, which I want to thank them specially for.
Thank you, Aderinsola, for your kind words and appreciation for sir and ma'am. The way you are explaining about your journey, it shows that how much respect and dignity it is coming from. Now, I would like to know if there is one piece of advice you would like to share to those who are hesitant to prepare for OPRA examination or just getting started, then what that one piece of advice would be, and also about your experience in 2 to 3 words for elite expertise.
Well, in few words, I would say that start now. A stitch in time saves life. As a matter of time, a stitch in time saves all. Because if you don't start now, you might have to wait longer than you think. And you might find yourself in what you don't in life. Imagine a pharmacist having to be a salesperson, just a salesperson. You've gone through the pharmacy, you've gone. So I want to encourage for you to have survived pharmacy school. Then you can survive. You can actually put in for this exam and be rest assured that you pass, especially because you have Sir Arief and you have Mom. These are members of your family. These are family members. I'll call them family members that are willing to pour into you. So I would encourage everyone, if you are still thinking about, don't think about it again. Just go and put in for it. Start the lectures and put in for the exam as soon as you can. Provided you're able to commit your own time, and you have a mindset of success, I tell you, you are going to excel because they are really ready to pour into you. And I want to tell everyone that whatever it is that they put in you will not leave you even after the exam. I would say I've been impacted positively. All that I was taught still lives with me, and I see them on a daily basis when I go to see some of my clients and their medications. They have some side effects. I get to see just get to see Arief and Mom in what is being said, in their medication, in what they are going through. So they have actually poured themselves beyond the exams. They empty themselves into us, and I want every other person to enjoy this day. If only we can be part of it and have a positive mindset. then the sky is even not your limit.
Thank you, Aderinsola, for giving us your valuable time and having this conversation with us. We wish you all the very best for your upcoming examination. Now that you know, once you have cleared your OPRA examination, you will be heading towards your return intern oral exam soon. So we wish you all the very best and congratulations for your OPRA July success. Is there any other thing you would like to share?
To share now. Well, most importantly, success is a thing of the mind. And I just want to use this. I would like to say something that, apart from Africa, there's this slang they say that follow who knows road. And I want to encourage everyone, please follow the people that know the road. They know the pathway. So just follow, and you'll be amazed at what you get out of it. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your time. And we wish you all the very best.